Hi everyone, Casey Phillips here, Director of Evangelization and our small group director for the Cathedral of Christ the King. If this is the first email you're getting, thank you. Thank you for agreeing to be a small group leader. What we're trying to do here at the Cathedral is really just form more and more ways that people can get easily connected within the life of the church. And you giving of your time and your talent to facilitate a small group is much appreciated. So thank you. In this short video, I just wanted to go over some of the practicalities of what it means to be a small group at the Cathedral of Christ the King, and to give you some of the ways that we as a staff are trying to reach out and support you as a volunteer small group leader. So I wanted to do that by showing you first just a few of the resources that we have at the Cathedral. So the first one that I wanted to show you is just our weekly email. So I'll send out a weekly email full of information. You can see one here that I'm working on for the Kingsmen. And so it just has some weekly updates, as well as the link to the weekly Sunday Gospel Reflection. This is a resource that we provide for you in-house, provide to all of our small group leaders, as just a resource that you can actually use at your meeting. And we do ask that everyone, if the ability is there, that everyone actually use this resource. So play it at the beginning, maybe of your group, middle, end, it doesn't matter when. And it can be something that you use a lot during your group meeting, or maybe not hardly at all. But it is something that we're working on in-house to try to provide some sort of continuity between the groups, that this is something that we all have. And within the video, it's a gospel reflection, but at the very end, we do have what's called a parish connection. And this is where we take something that's going on in the life of Christ the King, and we bring it down to the small group level. Because we all know we've heard announcements after Mass, or we might have seen something in a bulletin that really didn't take root. Well, we want to start to see the things that the Cathedral is taking seriously and wanting us to consider as parishioners, and bring it down into a conversation in our small group. So you'll find that there too. So we just ask that you use that resource. Maybe something you run for the first 5 to 10 minutes of your group meeting and then you move on, or maybe something that you unpack throughout the whole time of your meeting. You also see any RSVPs to any group meetings coming up. And you'll usually see at the bottom some sort of a continuing education, just something that I'm providing for you to kind of think about as you're a leader and you're a facilitator of a group. What does it mean to be a good small group leader? How can we facilitate these better? Do we always have our eye on the person in the group that may feel the furthest out, most uncomfortable? How do we invite people in who are not even Catholic and make it not a kind of an odd, exclusivist feeling type of atmosphere? So those kinds of things will be in that email. So you'll get that email. You'll have the gospel reflections. We're also going to be doing some bi-monthly leaders meeting. And we're really hoping for those to be in person. So every other month, and I think we've timed it out with breaks to be roughly 5 meetings a year. So 5 in-person meetings a year. We're going to get together just as leaders and co-leaders, if you have a co-leader, to discuss what's going on in our groups and to be there for one another, to kind of support one another. There will be a small element of training there as well, so you can feel like you're being invested in as a leader, because this is something we want to see grow at the Cathedral. Just as a kind of side note, at the beginning of 2023, we started out with 2 of our small groups. Now, after Easter is over this year, we have a total of 10. We want to see that continue to scale, because small groups are where really a lot of discipleship takes place, where people, when they come into our big cathedral and they think, oh, I don't know where I fit in here, they'll fit into a small group, and they'll start to see people in that small group at Mass, and they get further kind of woven into the fabric of our parish. And that's what we want to see happen. So we want to support you as a leader by coming together 5 times a year in person to discuss groups and the importance of those, and to discuss any maybe frustrations you're having, difficulties, so we can work through those together. You'll also have individualized support from your coach. So we've divided this for now. Hopefully we'll need more and more coaches, but for now we've divided our small groups into 2 camps. We have our Kingsmen ministry, which are our small groups for men, Bet you couldn't guess that. And then we have Little Crown, which is our women's ministry, and also one of our Light of the World groups is also going to be meeting with this group. So I'm the coach for King's Men. I'm also just the director of all small groups, but I'm going to be the coach for King's Men. And my wife, Erin Phillips, actually, who started the first Little Crown group, she's going to be the coach for those Little Crown groups, as well as the Light of the World group that's there. And so basically, if you have questions or you want to meet with someone between those 5 meetings, maybe you need some one-on-one help, or you just want to share what's going on in your group and to have some support, that's what your coach is for. And your coach is who's going to be emailing you on a weekly basis as well with information, support, and things like that. So you'll have that. And then the last thing that we're doing as King's Men and Little Crown is we're going to start planning, and this is where some of this is going to happen on our bi-monthly meetings, quarterly events. So one of the key aspects of our small group ministry is we want to be outward. We want to be positioned evangelistically, looking out of the cathedral walls, inside as well, but also out. And so we want to start to think about how can we get people to experience a little bit what it's like to hang out with us. What's a really cool, calm, not churchy environment that we can invite people into. And so that maybe they start to think, maybe I want to get woven into this community. Maybe I do like Casey. He's not as weird as I thought. He's still kind of weird, but not as weird as I thought. And so maybe they'll decide from there they want to join a small group. So we are planning those quarterly events as well. So that's a lot of information. I just wanted to make this video to kind of show you there is structure to what we're doing, and there is support for you as a leader or a co-leader of one of our small groups. We want you to know, right, that we're very, very thankful for the time that you're giving up each week from family, or maybe getting up extra early before work, or doing a late night and then having to turn around and get back up early for work. What you're doing matters, and it's building disciples. And so thank you for that. And please, at any point, if you have questions or concerns, or you just want to talk through something, you can contact me by responding to the email that this video's in, or reaching out to ctkevangelization@cdlex.org. God bless you all, and thanks again.